Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we are going to start our last part of this unit. We're going to be talking about rates and ratios. For today specifically, we're going to talk about unit rates. So, what is a unit rate? Basically, when the denominator of a rate is 1, we call it a unit rate. So, for example, um, $50 per hour, for example, that is a unit rate because it's $50 per 1 hour, right? Whereas if we say $100 per 2 hours, that's no longer a unit rate because our denominator is now 2 hours. We would have to divide both by 2 to go back to it's $50 for 1 hour, right? Or another example is 10 kilometers per hour, which actually I guess that's a pretty slow speed. Let's say 60 kilometers per hour. Well, since that's per 1 hour, that's a unit rate as well, right? Or I can type 100 words per minute. I don't think I actually can, but let's just say I can type 100 words per 1 minute. Well, that's a unit rate. Whereas if I say I can type 300 words in 3 minutes, we're no longer at a unit rate because a unit rate is per 1 unit, right? Per 1 minute in this case, or per 1 hour, whatever the case is. Okay. And we usually use the word per or division symbol to indicate that unit rate as well. So actually, they give an example here of if a student earns $8.50 per hour. Gosh, this is old. That was not even minimum wage back when I was in high school. It is the same as $8.50 and then slash hour, right, per hour. And this means that we get $8.50 for every 1 hour of work, which doesn't seem like enough at all in today's day and age. That's for sure. Okay, so find each unit rate. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So let's see. Here it says type 800 words in 12 minutes. How many words is that per 1 minute? So let's think about that. If we can type 800 words in 12 minutes, how many is that per 1 minute? Well, if we grab our calculator and we do 800 divided by 12, right? We do 800 words. We're dividing that into 12 groups. We're going to find out how many words for each 1 minute, and we get 66.666 and so on. I am just going to round that. It says round your answer to the nearest hundredth. Nearest hundredth, as a reminder, that means nearest two decimal places. So I'm going to say 66.67 words per minute, which is not a bad speed at all, I don't think. Okay. All right. Now it says 192 students in 4 buses. How many in each bus? So, assuming that there's the same amount of students per bus, we're going to do 192 divided by 4 to get that if there's 192 students in 4 buses, that means there's 48 students per bus, 48 students in one bus, assuming that it's the same. And we made the same assumption earlier with the words per minute in 12 minutes. I'm not going to assume that the first minute they typed really fast, then they got tired, and then they took a break, and then they went back to it. No, I'm going to assume that the same amount of words are typed in each minute, that we're going at a constant rate. And same with this second example, I'm making the assumption that if there's 192 students in 4 buses, that each bus has the same number of students, that it's even, and that's an assumption we make when it comes to rates in general. Okay, the next one says 357 miles in 5 hours. How many miles per hour? How many miles in 1 hour? Well, what do? We just do 357 divided by 5 to get our answer, and we get 71.4 miles per hour. So there we go. There we go. I'm actually not sure how fast or slow that is. I'm used to kilometers per hour, but I think that's kind of fast. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the answer there regardless. Okay. Number 4, 8 ducks for $23.60. How many dollars per one duck? And again, we're assuming we didn't get a discount because we bought more ducks, which actually might be the more realistic thing to believe, but we're going to assume that each duck cost the same amount and that there was no discount because we bought 8. So $23.60 divided by 8 gives us $2.95. So that means it costs $2.95 for one duck. I'm guessing rubber ducks, I'm not sure, but either way, $2.95 per duck. Okay, number 5, a 10-pound bag of cherries for $33.49. How much do we pay per pound? Well, we need to divide that by 10, which means we're going to end up getting 3.349, which is the same as 3.35 because we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to round it to $3.35, $3.35 per 1 pound of cherries. All right, 12 chickens lay 30 eggs. How many eggs per chicken? What rate is that? Well, we're going to have to do 30 eggs, divide by 12, and we get 2.5. So on average, we have 2.5 eggs per one chicken. All right, let's say we earn $134 for a full day of work for an 8-hour work day. How much did we earn per hour? Well, let's do 134 divided by 8 hours gives us $16.75 per hour. So there we go. Awesome. All right, 3 pizzas cost $19.99. So how much did one pizza cost? Right? How much for each pizza? Well, that's going to be $19.99 divided by 3 is going to give us 6.66 and then 3, lots of threes. But we can just end it there because we need to just do 2 decimal points according to the question. All right, number 9 says it's 3,500 calories for 6 servings of pie. How many for 1 serving of pie? How many per serving? Well, that's going to be 3,500 divided by 6 is going to give us 583.33 calories per serving. Okay. Now we have 351 chairs in 27 rows. How many chairs in each row, or how many chairs in one row? Well, 351 divided by 27 is 13. So 13 chairs in each row. Okay, $37.29 for 2 pairs of jeans. How much did each of the pairs cost? How much for just 1 pair of jeans? Well, we can divide that by 2, and we get $18.645, which is just going to be, I'm going to round that to 65 cents because, again, we're rounding to 2 decimal points. And also in general, with any sort of money stuff, it's a good general rule to just go with, dollars and cents and always round this way anyway, because, we can't really have fractions of a penny. We don't really have that. In some places, they don't even do pennies anymore, except for bank account transactions. For cash, they just round in some places now. So, yeah. Now it says $37.29 for 2 pairs of ducks. Wait, 2 pairs of ducks. Okay. How much per duck? Well, a pair of ducks would be 2. So that means for 4 ducks. So that would be $37.29 divided by 4 will give us $9.32 per duck if we round. Now, the difference between this one and the pairs of jeans is we say 1 pair of jeans. Well, that's just phrasing we use. Or a pair of scissors, right? Same thing. That's just one, that's just 1 scissors, right? That's just 1 item. Same with a pair of jeans, that's 1 item. Whereas when it's pairs of ducks, well, then a pair would have to be 2 ducks in the context of ducks. So it just kind of depends on the wording a little bit. Because at first I saw this question and I thought they asked us the same thing twice, but actually they didn't, because one pair of jeans is just one item, just as one pair of scissors, one item. Whereas a pair of ducks, for example, well, a pair of ducks is 2 ducks. So 2 pairs of ducks would then be 4 ducks. So do keep that in mind. Okay, 24 senior citizens in 12 RVs. How many in each RV? Well, that's going to be 2 seniors in each RV if we do 24 divided by 12. Okay. Then we have 7 penguins for $188.88. So we divide that by 7, and we're going to get $26.98 each. $26.98 for 1 penguin. Good. Okay. Now we're going to look at these unit rates, and we're going to decide which one is the better buy, right? So which one costs us less money, right? Because at the end of the day, we're going to assume we're the consumer, since it's not asking what's the better, price for us to give as the person selling. It's asking what's the better buy, what should we buy, just in terms of what's a better cost for the unit rate. Okay, so in this case, we're going to ignore factors like we might in real life only need a smaller quantity. So even if that's a worse rate, we might be better off doing that and not stocking up too much or things like that. We're going to ignore that for this exercise. We're just going to look at what is the unit rate and what is a better buy, assuming this is an item that we're going to be using for a long time. And we just want the best rate for our money. Okay, so which is a better buy? A 12.5-ounce bag of Doritos for $3.79 or a 3-ounce bag for $1? Okay, so let's start with the first one. It says 12.5 ounces for $3.79. So that means $3.79 is going to be split into 12.5 groups, right? To find out how much per 1 ounce. So divide by 12.5 gives us about 30 cents. 30 cents per ounce. Okay. And then the second one, it's $1 for a 3-ounce bag. So that's going to be 1 divided by 3 is going to give us about 33 cents per ounce. So therefore, the better buy, the slightly better buy here is the 12.5-ounce bag of Doritos is a better buy, right? We're going to ignore factors like we might want to, eat less Doritos as they're not the healthiest, or, things, or maybe they go bad. We're going to ignore factors like that for the sake of the exercise. We're just going to say, well, it costs less, so it's a better buy. Awesome. Okay, 12 bars of soap for $10 or 5 bars of soap for $4. Well, let's see. So we could spend $12 to get 12 bars of soap. So 10 divided by 12 is going to be 83 cents per bar of soap. What about 5 bars of soap for $4? So 4 divided by 5 is 0.8. So that's 80 cents per bar. So the better buy is 5 bars of soap for $4. Okay. A box of 84 penguins for $13,597, or a bag of 50 penguins for $795.95. Okay, well, this one, I think it's already obvious what's the better buy. that the 50 penguins for 795.95 is going to be a far better buy. But still, let's figure out the unit rate for these because I think that's what they really want from us. So let's see, $13,597 divided by 84 penguins means it's 161.86, or actually 87, we're rounding here, per penguin for the first one. And for the second one, it would be 795.95 divided by 50 penguins, which is going to be only $15.92 per penguin. So in this case, it's actually a really huge difference, which is why I knew right away. The other two, at first glance, I did not know the answer until I did the division. This one, it was quite clear because this one, it's a way, way better deal to just get the 50 penguins for $795.95. In the other ones, it's very, very similar. So even if you did do the wrong buy, oh well, you spent an extra few cents. In this case, you're throwing money away by getting the box of 84 penguins for, way, way more. Like, 10x the price, or actually slightly more than that. It's more than 10 times the price per penguin. So in this case, 50 penguins is a way better buy. Is a much better buy. Okay. All right, next one. 5-gallon bucket of paint for $97.45, or a 1-gallon bucket of paint for $21.95. Well, let's see. In this case, 97.45 divided by 5 is going to give us the amount per gallon. So that's going to be not $19.49 per gallon. And then the second one is actually already at a unit rate. It's saying for one gallon, it's $21.95. So this one, we don't actually have to calculate anything. They already told us the unit rate, that for 1 gallon, it's $21.95. So therefore, assuming we'd actually use the full 5 gallons, it's a better deal to get the 5-gallon bucket of paint. So the 5-gallon bucket of paint is a better deal. Awesome. Okay. Let's see, a 48-ounce big gulp for $1.39, or a 32-ounce Coke for 89 cents. So assuming maybe we like big gulps and Coke equally, let's assume, what is our better buy? Well, let's see. We have $1.39 divided by 48 ounces. That means that it's going to be about 3 cents. We're going to round up to 3 cents per ounce for the big gulp. Or for the Coke, it's going to be 89 cents divided by 32, which also rounds to 3 cents per ounce for Coke. So it's actually a very, very small difference. They're very similar. However, the big gulp, it was actually slightly higher than the Coke. So the Coke is actually a slightly better deal, even though they both rounded to 3 cents. The actual answers for them both. Let's do that actually. Let's write down the full answer. 0.0278 for this one. And then for this other one, it was $1.39 divided by 48. This one was 0.289. So this one is slightly more expensive, it turns out. So the Coke is a ever so slightly better deal. Now, again, when you're spending so little money, it doesn't really matter. But for the sake of this exercise, the Coke is a better deal. It's a slightly better deal in the form of maybe you're saving a couple pennies or something if you buy the Coke over time instead of the big gulp. But this one doesn't really matter that much at all. Okay, last but not least, we have 50 head of cattle for $24,500 or 37 head of cattle for $18,870. Okay, so $24,500 divided by 50 is going to give us $490 per head. And then the next one is $18,870 divided by 37 heads is going to be $510 per head. That's not how you spell head. So therefore, the 50 heads is a better deal. Awesome. So basically, when we put things in their unit rates, we can tell what's a better deal, right? If I tell you, you could work for me for 4 hours and make $100, or you could work for me for 6 hours and I'll pay you $200. How do you know which is the better deal, right? And on one hand, you could work for less hours, but you get less money, or you could work for more hours, get a bit more money. But what's the better deal overall? What you would do for that, right, is find the unit rate of how much per hour is that, right? How much per hour is working for 4 hours and getting $100 versus how much per hour is it if I'm paying you $200 for 6 hours, right? And it turns out the $200 for 6 hours is a better deal rate wise. I'm paying more per hour, right? So that's a better deal for you to take that one, for instance. So, it's always good to be able to put things in unit rates because then it's very easy to compare them. And that's the point of having things in unit rates is so that we can kind of compare what's what. All right, well, that is it for finding unit rates. Good work today, everybody, and I will see everybody for the next one. Bye, everyone.